Frisco sounds very much like a people dog.
Oh, he
So
is.
today was the very first time you left him alone?
Yep. Um, well, it's the first time he was home alone. He did go to the groomers and we left him there. And he did fine, apparently. But this was the first time he was home by himself, where either Adam or I were not there at all.
And nothing got destroyed?
No, he was fine. I was afraid he was gonna poop somewhere out of terror or something like that, but he does not appear to have terror pooped. He was
Well,
just
that's good news.
really, really glad to see us when we got home.
Do you remember Odie?
Uncle Jim's dog?
Uncle Jim's dog, yeah, would start tearing apart any shoes he could find as soon as he was alone in the house. And apparently that's what he did until anybody came back.
Yeah, Frisco loves shoes, but he doesn't rip them up. He just grabs them all and carries them to the living room and just kind of chomps on them a little bit.
Chum more if they have Velcro.
Yeah, he loves Velcro. He just likes the feel of it in his mouth.
Huh.
Yeah, we had one of our dogs who chewed up my wife's Vans that she'd had for like 10 or 15 years. Her and the dog had a little tete-a-tete about chewing shoes.
Also loves cardboard, so we've got just a box of cardboard bits sitting in the dining room that he periodically pulls stuff out and chews it up.
Especially if he gets frustrated or upset, he goes out there and yanks a big piece of cardboard out and takes it to the living room and just shreds it.
I'll pass on a hard lesson learned about dogs because one of ours, we came home and our house cleaner had said, I found this at the bottom of the stairs. One of the dogs was chewing on it. And it was the combination night guard and retainer that I'd paid $350 for. And I thought it had been safe in its case on my nightstand. This was before we had all the barriers up. And I mentioned this to my dentist as I was ordering a even more expensive dental appliance. And he said, I don't know why dogs love to chew on those so much, but they do. Apparently, that is a common fate for dental appliances, is that dogs get at them and chew them to bits.
Oh, really?
Well, they love anything that smells like you.
Yeah, we had one of our dogs who chewed up our leather couch. Spent over $1,000 on a couch, and I don't know, the dog had been in the house for, I guess that time, about 4 or 5 months. And he decided, this looks like this could be fun to eat.
Jeez.
Yeah, my wife came home. She was not happy.
There is no such thing as a free dog.
The most damage Frisco's done is that he has tried to chew up the corners of our old ratty carpet. So we don't really own any nice furniture, so
This is why we can't have nice things. Is everybody here?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. We were where exactly?
We had flown to the next place.
And we had dealt with the spiders.
Yeah, we did deal with this, but that's what the last I remember is that we had summoned fire elementals and sirens and had flown over them with what we thought was their biggest predator, and I think wind was involved. And we'd scared all the spiders away. And had we contacted the lady to tell her we did that?
No, not yet.
Okay, so that's where we were. We'd scared them all away, but we'd apparently just done that.
And this seems to be the spider thread seemed to be a component for something. Like it's some kind of spell component. Would I know if there's like any value to collect extras?
It is actually critical in +1 jock straps. Can't make them without it.
Well, Ellendale is more than willing to help with your fitting.
The Drock Stop provide protection from crits? Or...
I was just, as the words were coming out of my mouth, I thought, what would a +1 jockstrap do?
It'll give you 1 armor, I think.
We needed the.
You gotta wonder: is it armor or is it a weapon?
It depends on how you're using it.
I guess it could become a throwing weapon.
Boy, you could. It sounds like the kind of thing you could easily sell for lots of money on the internet. We needed the spider silk for something else, didn't we?
Yeah, it was one of the ingredients that the mechanic sent you out after.
Along with the shadow smoke, right?
Yep.
So now we've got both ingredients, one of which we've already delivered, haven't we?
No, you did not actually.
No, we haven't
deliver
delivered
it
any.
yet.
We're still dragging it around.
So we just need the razorback coils or whatever.
Yeah.
Right, but what I'm wondering is we should
the razor
collect
beast.
extra the spider silk.
It's a good question. It should be useful for something.
I mean, would I know whether it's valuable or not? Would that be an Arcanum check?
Yeah, you could. Well, no, it'd be more of a survival check, I think.
Survival. And this is a wilderness setting, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. $33 to know what spider silk is used for.
Well, it can be used in weaving and armor making and that sort of thing, or just making cloth, or it's just really super strong, thick spider silk, basically.
Why don't we gather as much? Well, so it's not a matter of weight; it's the bulk, right?
Well,
or the actual process of gathering it.
Well, and it's got beads of sticky goo on it that you'd have to rinse off before it could really be useful for anything. Otherwise, it would just end up in a basically blob in your pack and pretty much ruin anything it touched.
Okay. Is that another survival check, or is that part of the same
clean all that stuff off?
Oh, yeah. She probably would.
And I guess more importantly, do we know if this is valuable? That's what I was kind of getting at. Are we leaving thousands of plat behind because we don't know?
In its raw form, not so much. It needs to be cleaned and actually have something done with it before it really have any particular value.
Okay, so there's not a whole lot of sense in trying to spend the time cleaning it and everything else.
Does not sound like it.
Remember, we've got, I'm all for caching stuff in wherever we can, but in theory, we've recursed now 2 or 3 levels deep into a quest to dispose of the Soulstones, which should be almost literally more cash than we can spend.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it has some value, but it has value in the same way as trade goods do, so you'd need a lot of it to really get any use out of it. And you'd have to carry it.
Okay, I'm all for leaving it behind.
Yeah.
With my
it was
eagle
one
eyes,
thing if it was going to be hundreds of thousands of plat, but
with my eagle eyes and my eagle nose, I will do a relatively thorough search to see if these spiders had loot, not necessarily that they collected, but that their victims may have dropped.
It does not appear that they have anything, that they've caught anything that would have had stuff on it.
Okay. So we are now on our way back to... Why can't I move my guy? Is that bird me? It is, right?
Yeah. There, I think.
Well, I can't... Okay, I can't see the label. There we go. We are now on our way back to Yemeron, right?
Yep.
If that's Spanish, or Lameron if we're in Alabama.
Lamarin?
Lamarin, right.
It's more kind of Welshish.
Welshish. Okay, you pronounce it.
That would be Yamaron.
Yameron, okay. Remind me who wanted us to go drive the spiders out?
That was Istray the Artificer.
Okay. I alight with the whole party in the canoe just outside the domicile of Istray the Artificer, and gently nudge Harold Ford to do all of our talking. I will nudge him harder if it looks like he's asleep.
Me to talk to the old grumpy lady?
Yeah, you've got by far the best rolls, right? If it comes to anything Chaw based.
He has the best stats. Best rolls is arguable.
Oh God, no, right.
Best
I don't know, my old lady check failed.
He is, if you compare his stats and his rolls, he is an exercise in unrealized potential. So Istray is at Yameron, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
In general, Harold has managed to roll well when it needed to be. It's just when you want something and that you don't particularly need that he rolls crap.
There's a reason he's the one that always remembers hero points.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I forget, what is it? We were supposed to clear out the spiders and she would get us the ingredient we wanted.
I think so. There was something we needed from her, or she was gonna... So from every one of these, we need a reply that we're supposed to deliver to the LT. And then we've got the subquests. One of which I think we've completed, which was essentially save What's-His-Face's bacon when he failed the ritual for containing the succubus.
Excuse me a minute. I need to run to the restroom. Sorry.
Okay. And then we're still on the subquest for the mechanic. And I think there was one more. The mechanic kind of had two. We had to rescue his red shirt, and then we have to get these ingredients for him. And I thought she wanted us to clear out the spiders, but I don't remember whether it was just before she was going to reply or whether it was so she could do the spider silk for us. Anybody?
I thought
Wow.
her reply was, basically the letter to her was something along the lines of, do you have what we need? And she couldn't get to it because of the spiders. Something like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm not remembering. And to be completely fair, we've got at least two young people in this group who should remember that are not. Like everybody over 50 has a pass on remembering anything because we're over 50. But you guys. Yeah, I don't remember the details on why we had to clear out the spiders for her.
I suffer from CRS.
So they could keep going about their work that they were doing.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what work they were doing, but the spiders were in the way.
As a paladin, what do you think would happen if I took extra channel?
I'm not sure what channel is.
It gives you 2 more uses of channel energy. But I channel energy as 2 uses of lay on hands, and then it lets me do channel energy.
Well, that sounds like it would be handy.
Yeah. Actually, I've been playing a CRPG called Pathfinder Kingmaker. It's based on first edition Pathfinder rules. And that there's a paladin archetype that lets you basically channel energy more. Kind of turns you into like a paladin healer. And I'm kind of wishing I could do that here, but I don't see a feat to do it.
Yeah, I mean, Jen's running a slightly different variation to it's a little bit more homegrown to our world. So in talking with Jen, basically we were coming here to see the old lady because she was going to help us get the primal spider web. She thinks we're in on it, but technically we went and dealt with the spiders, so we have primal spider web.
Yeah, but didn't she want us to? Oh, they needed access to something the spiders were around, right? Like a mine.
Yeah, I just confirmed. We are basically done here in this town unless we want to try to grill her for more information.
Oh,
Well, if we're done, let's move.
Like I said, unless you want to try to grill her for more information to try to understand what the hell we're building by getting all these components.
If you guys want to try that, go ahead.
Doo-doo. 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 Doo-doo.
I'm not sure what that is, but is she still off in the bathroom?
Yeah, she's in the bathroom. I'm yelling at her.
Uh,
Kind of an interesting game scenario where you yell at people through walls.
yeah.
Basically, I'm trying to talk to the old lady because she's already blurted out some information about if this works, it'll be kind of the end of the stagnation. And we learned last session it has to do something with one of the two princes. One of the princes wants to kind of expand the guard's powers and start claiming more land. Which is kind of one of the things, like, we really don't know what we're collecting the components for the mechanic to do.
Hopefully, it's not one of these artificial leg scenarios.
Hopefully we're not creating a weapon to kill a prince.
That would
Well-
put us right smack dab in the middle of stuff we may not want to be smack dab in the middle of.
Well, I
Mhm.
think this was commissioned by the prince, so I doubt that it's a weapon to kill.
Well,
Now, I'll
the
grant you
real
there are
question
two
is,
princes.
yeah,
Yeah.
the question is
That's
which
what he's
prince.
saying.
We don't know whose seal it is, which prince it is. Although it seems like the mechanic is, and these folks are against the prince who wants to expand the guard's powers and claim more territory. And I guess if I understand the stagnation correctly, it's basically, the uppity ups thumb their nose at all the people below them, and the stagnation is more about the lower people can't do anything without the blessing of basically the royalty. So effectively, I guess they're trying to expand the rights of the normal citizen, and at the same time ensure the guards don't get more rights, and which is basically one of the goals of one of the princes.
So are the princes brothers? Or are they
One
completely
assumes.
different? Yeah,
So
but
yes,
I believe it is a royal family.
they're
It's called the
modern
royal
families.
household.
They could be half brothers. They could be step brothers. They could be, one of them could have been adopted. I mean, Loki and Thor are brothers, but we know how well they get along.
I believe Occam's razor would suggest that they are brothers.
We'll ask Jenny when she gets back.
so we don't know whether the brothers like each other because the Elven court is formal.
Yeah,
So
I'm concerned that we may have spent the last several days essentially involving ourselves unknowingly on one side in a battle between the two most powerful members of royalty in the Elven Kingdom. And that's kind of a worst case scenario, but it would behoove us to figure this out sooner than later.
If that's the case, I suggest that we win.
Do Yeah, it seems like, in for penny, in for pound. Because if there is some sort of sibling thing going on here, if we suddenly say, nope, not doing any more, and we're thwarting these plans, we've got an enemy.
Well, if we're in that kind of situation, we probably couldn't get out anyway because we would become loose ends.
Right. I think that's so. If that is the situation, that's where we're at.
Yep. And the only way out is through.
So kill them all. You want me to start slitting throats? You just say so.
Plus, that's the kind of fight where, as long as you win, no one can do anything to you.
Mm-hmm.
All our lives are riding on this.
Mm-hmm.
A point against the Pathfinder Kingmaker Paladin, you cannot summon a horse. What's with that?
That's just wrong on so many levels.
I don't know.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Would history be considered a social skill?
No.
No.
Authority or deceit or gossip.
Or their skill.
It struck
Wait, can
me
I
that
wear a helm and goggles at the same time?
Yeah.
See, motorcyclists do it all the time.
Alright.
I was wondering if they were gonna roll an authority check there, Harold. I was wondering if they were going to offer to heal her.
Oh, and there it comes. All is now balanced in the world. 18 plus 2 is 20 in 2 rolls.
And I was barely any better.
I suppose I will also roll authority.
I should have done it while being acrobatic.
Who's healing her arm? Is it me since I succeeded on the authority check?
You can work that out amongst yourselves.
Not me.
No, it is not.
I mean, one of
going
you.
to be you.
One of you can do it while I make it look like I'm doing it.
We'd have to roll a deception check then.
Oh, I got no problem with that.
Can I tell what's wrong with her?
See? Deceit 39 right there.
Well, we'd probably both have to do it though.
I need to make like a heal check. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that she's got a nasty bite on her arm. She's got 2 injuries.
Oh, I can heal that with lay on hands.
Go for it.
Yeah. Depending on whether those injuries are spider bites, because she could be internally poisoned also.
Well, my lay on hands removes 1d4 plus 1 injuries, I believe. So that's a minimum 2. Does not remove poison though. Yeah. Moves injuries and curses.
What is all this typing?
Why is Elendil rolling deceit and trickery?
Oh, I was just
He was demonstrating his prowess.
yes, in deceit and trickery.
Yes.
We'll try again to see if I can get her to spill the beans.
I was hoping you would do that. I wasn't sure that a plus 16 was going to be enough to.
Go ahead and make an authority check.
There you go.
There you go.
That's our boy.
That's the answer to everything that number is.
Damn it, he's making a number.
He's sure taking a long time to deliberate over what he wants to say. Oh, man. I am feeling pretty tired.
So it's like stillness.
Exactly, but I'm just not coming out and saying it.
We never gave the other one a name, did we? It didn't name itself.
Nope.
Guess that could be a deceit roll coming.
Yeah.
Well, what do you want me
Well,
to
if
say?
you wanted you to see, you could just tell her what he told us.
Honestly, I don't remember what he told us.
Can you give us a refresher on what he told us?
I think after not so subtly being kicked under the table by the guard more than once, he carefully didn't tell us anything.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I didn't remember, but I was mostly preoccupied with enduring the very strange and arbitrary verbal combat between Lucha and the guard while standing outside. They just sort of decided to hate each other.
Jenny, this is not an urgent question, so feel free to postpone the answer. But I'm looking at Ulhurin's Green, Singing Falls, Crystal Pillars, Yamaron, and Black. Are we to read anything into the fact that the symbols or icons on the map for those, like one's a tree, one's crystal pillars, one looks like a gray trouble. Actually, 3 of them look like gray troubles.
They're just what I could find.
Okay.
They're free tokens.
So no significance there.
No.
Okay.
All right, so basically, do we want to find out if they're going to try and build this as basically a killing machine, or you guys have anything in particular you like?
I would pump her for any information we can get, try and discover everything we can until and unless it seems like we're about to piss her off.
From what I could tell, it was supposed to be some sort of clockwork fantasia. It would move and produce music, like a mechanical orchestra.
Deadly, deadly music.
Do we want to find out if it's, to try and help gather more power to
Yes,
expand?
we want to find all that out. You guys, I'm about to leap into this conversation with my usual subtlety and nuance. So, you guys in the past have referred to that as blurting.
Well, I'm trying to
Yeah, if you guys stand there staring at her and not saying anything much longer, she's going to start to get weirded out.
Hold on. Is that what girls do when you just stand around and stare at them? Get weirded out?
It has been for our entire lives.
I just don't get why they don't like you staring. Especially when they're showing the assets off.
Well, she's about 200 years old, so she's going to start to wonder what the hell's going on in your head if you think she's hot.
How long of a life do they live? Because, 200. I've been kind of blessed in my life in that I've always found women my age to be attractive. So 40 years ago, women that I find attractive now, I would have thought, oh my God, that old lady. Anyway, I'm typing. So.
Battle of the keyboard! Who can complete their statement first?
That's all. That's what we're good now, yeah. Alright.
Well, that was not all that great of a roll.
Yeah, isn't your deceit modifier like 30?
No, my deceit modifier is only 20, only 19.
He's talking about your character. Yeah, I would love to get to the bottom of this.
So apparently that meant nothing to her, though. You know.
Yeah.
So I tried to make it general, but you know, a couple buzzwords there that if they were anything, thought. Oh.
What does that gesture mean colloquially? That she's about to go up a chimney?
All right, got to roll good this time.
Only if she's Mary Poppins.
I honestly don't know what that
Man.
gesture is supposed to convey.
That was not a good.
It's supposed to
good
indicate that you and the person doing it share secret knowledge, or you're in the knows. You're in the know.
Okay, so like a
Oh,
wink.
so like from oh, what was that Paul Newman, Robert Redford film? The
The Sting or
The Sting. Yeah,
Dang.
right.
The Sting at the end with the nose. Yeah.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more.
Oh.
This is an actual plot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The game is afoot.
Yeah, the game is afoot. It'd be nice to know who the players are.
Oh, she's gonna tell secrets now.
I don't think we would be plotting with someone who gives secrets away so easily.
Wait, she's being awful free with her. Golwyn, are you flashing? Are you flashing to get her to?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
You know how hard, you know how involved it is to get out of a full suit of armor?
You know.
Your child's high enough. You can have perfected in armor twerking by now.
Yeah. And really, you know, maybe it's
Clankety,
just,
clankety,
you know,
clankety, clankety.
yeah. Maybe it's just the cod piece that you need to move. I don't know.
Listen, okay, the Order of Numaya has ancient armor twerking secrets that I'm not going to divulge to the uninitiated.
And I don't want to know. I don't want to know about that.
Wait a second.
You're
I
my
gotta
child.
check something.
I don't need to know about that. Unless it's going to make me money.
Listens knows about it too.
Do I need to put you on the poll?
Man. In Maya's chalice, if you squint, it could be a codpiece.
Remember to poison both of the wine and the sword
Hmm.
so that nothing goes wrong. Right? I believe that's how the last scene of Hamlet goes.
Yep.
They assassinate Hamlet and nothing goes wrong because they took so many precautions. That's
So the question becomes: are
But
we
is
now
king,
loose ends?
couldn't he just have Hamlet executed? But there's no rule of law in monarchies.
Yeah,
They don't
but
know
there's
allies.
a couple of the nobles that hate your ass, which is always the case in a monarchy, getting
Well,
their
yeah, but
themselves
Hamlet
together.
didn't have Hamlet didn't have any allies though.
It's
He'd alienated everyone by acting like a madman.
That's not the point. The point is that they could use it as a reason for war. It's just an excuse. It doesn't matter if they like him or not. He was the true king because he was the son of the previous king. Believe me, they've gone to war over stupider shit.
Well, to be fair, an awful lot of people did get behind Laertes. They do just kind of go, and then Laertes just sort of walks in, and everyone wants him to be king, and he wants to kill Claudius, and then he stops.
You're majoring in engineering?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
I'm majoring in
Oh.
political science.
Uh,
But when you go to upper middle to upper class kid high school, they make you read plenty of. I think they
you
made me
know,
read Hamlet twice.
in
He
Ohio.
did go to. Yeah, he went to a good high school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. We had
I
Jenny's
mean,
oldest brother at the band in what town was that? Hampton? Southampton? Anyway, band in rural Ohio in orchestra. We went to one of the band concerts when he was, I think, 5th grade, 6th grade, and there was three trombones, one of whom, sorry, four trombones, one of whom acted normally. Then there was Gareth, her brother, who acted normally. One person didn't have an instrument at all, and the other guy didn't move his slide the entire concert. We asked afterwards, and apparently one guy just forgot his instrument, and the other guy hadn't oiled the trombone on his slide all season, so he could only play notes that you didn't require your slide to move, and that was the music program in a nutshell.
so when Golan was in high school, he was on the crew team rowing, and they had over 100 kids. Now half of them were girls. We looked at a girls team and a boys team, but we had over 100 kids on crew. If you want, I can upload a video of Goldwyn winning a silver medal at nationals.
Oh wow, good for you. I rode for Washington State freshman year of college.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Washington has a pretty good program. if I remember.
University of Washington has an excellent program. Washington
Yeah, he
State
said Washington State.
Washington State
has a historically terrible program, which is how I was able to make the team.
If it makes you feel any better, for about a year I rode for Ohio State's club, which is also historically terrible. But then I couldn't swing getting up at 4 a.m.
Yeah, I don't know
during
why they always
college.
do that. And,
So
it's such a huge time sink, which is why I had to give it up.
yeah, it basically became I could graduate college or I could continue to row.
Right.
Like graduate college ever, or I could continue to row. And for whatever reason, I didn't choose rowing.
Do you miss
But
it?
high school was fun. I miss being in shape, and I miss being on a team.
Don't we all?
Hey,
I
fat and
love-
round
we
is a shape.
It is a shape. We used to
Yeah,
practice
I'm
on the
not-
Snake River, and I miss those mornings. I don't miss somebody hanging at the catch behind me and getting stabbed in the back, but I miss
No.
those mornings with the team all in sync, kind of swooshing over the water.
Oh yeah, I miss the blade work stuff mostly, really.
Yeah.
Golan was actually invited out to MIT by their coach to see if he could get him in. He was up front. He said he didn't get many people that he tried to get in, but it was better than the 8% that of the general population that.
And you chose
that
Ohio
MIT.
State over MIT?
Well,
MIT did not choose me.
Yeah.
I was fast enough for the team. I was not good enough at STEM for MIT. My
that's not
math
necessarily the
scores.
truth. Well, they didn't help, but
Yeah, well, I didn't get in on
you weren't
account
thrown out by it.
the academic stuff.
You don't know.
What else would it
Yeah.
have been?
It could have been your personality.
They get well. We can discuss this, but they get so many people that they're it's they get so many people that are qualified.
Yep.
That
I guess since it'll
and
make
weren't yeah. So initially he was they didn't turn him down outright. They were like, we'll let you know in March. Because he did early admission.
Yeah, I got deferred.
What is the listeners' cha-cha call?
So it was deferred, which if you're deferred, you're good enough to get in, but we want to go to the dance with us.
Are you a wilderness adventure scout now?
Caw, caw.
I don't. I'm missing a reference, obviously.
From Up, the little boy from Up.
Oh, yes. Okay.
All right, let's go. Now,
on to Black, I think.
We still don't really know enough.
No, we haven't. We're missing. We know we've stepped in something, but we don't know exactly what.
Right, because we don't know who the bad guy is, and maybe there isn't a bad guy. Maybe they're both bad guys.
That is usually the way it goes.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want to simplify it.
There's.
So has
I think
anybody
there's
been
relatively.
able to, or has anybody asked whose symbols is on these letters?
Well, so I'm thinking there's a relatively quick and easy solution to this, which is both Golan and Elendal have been on Rumspringa for clearly too long, but Elendal's mom has, in theory, been in the thick of court politics, and now that we know what questions to ask her, she should be able to fill us in on everything, right?
That's assuming that she's aware of this.
Yeah.
She would at least know the symbols, and I mean, courts and nobility are nothing except for gossip.
I'm pretty sure we recognized the symbol, didn't we?
We
no,
still don't
you
even
did not. When you first arrived here and you chatted with Istri, she blurted out that it was the prince's symbol, of course. And that's as much as you know.
But we don't even
But
know
we
which
don't know
prince.
which prince.
Right. I think it's time to have a conversation with your mom. Words every young man wishes to hear.
So my my
And
deck right now is 23. Does that translate to being able to draw well enough to make a copy of
none
this?
of the.
I would think so.
I assume we established that none of the elves in the group recognize the symbol then.
Or, as importantly, know all the politics and what we might be getting ourselves into. Whereas I suspect your mom does.
Like, what are you wanting to do, Elendil? You want to make like a copy of the symbol?
I want to make sure. Yeah, well, not right now, but if called upon, I should be able to make a reasonable facsimile of what it looks like, right? So we could show it to Denalisa. And
I was thinking we could just scry her. Didn't that work after fashion last time?
Why would we scry her when
yeah,
we could just
do that.
go ask her?
How far away is she?
That would take
In
time.
Elfhome. Yeah, we're going back to Elfhome eventually anyway.
Yeah, we're going back to Elfhome eventually anyway.
Yeah, but do we want to try and find out before?
I would like to know sooner than later. Do we have any way of telepathically contacting her, Lucha?
I mean, you're talking Elendil's ex?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you had a way of...
It's not scrying, it's...
No, I scry. You had, I thought, telepathy or something.
Yeah, telepathy.
If that doesn't work, or we could always try scrying with Numaya's Chalice, but that was definitely a kludge last time we tried. We had to contact her through her bird in order to get her to contact us. Why don't you try telepathy? Why don't you try
telepathically messaging her?
Bingo, and get her to contact Elendil and Golwyn, and let's have a conversation about exactly what we're getting involved in and why and who's responsible and all the background. She knows about the prince and whether we should actually be finishing this mission or trying to sabotage it.
Okay. So I'll reach out to her and see if she'll accept my message request.
Right? I mean, she should be in the know. She's guaranteed friendly. Is there a better resource?
Well, the thing is, we don't know if she's a trustworthy resource. I mean, we really don't know, you know.
Well, you know that she wouldn't purposely do anything to harm Golwyn.
I don't know that.
She'll tell us what she feels she needs to keep me out of trouble.
We know that she wouldn't do anything purposeful to hurt Golwyn's seed. So there's that.
She could accidentally do something to harm me, though.
Well, and she has a different idea of your best interests than you do.
That is true.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But definitely, you living is in her interest, so I would give her that.
I think in the case of like getting in the middle of an assassination plot,
Right.
She probably has an approximately correct idea of my best interests. Sure.
Does she have a way to contact Golan directly? Or just teleport here and have a conversation?
She's not quite high enough level of a wizard to just profligately teleport around like that, but she could probably telepathy him.
Okay. Don't make us send the giant bird.
He's not used to having a giant bladder yet.
Gargantuan eagle means gargantuan droppings. There you go. Nice job.
Can I? I feel like we all have an equal understanding of what we're asking here.
Well, except that she's almost certainly to be more forthcoming and more protective and everything when she's talking directly to you than anybody else.
She'll be a whole
Okay.
lot more tolerant of you.
Yeah,
Right.
it's okay. Look, it's okay. You can talk to your mom. Daddy is here.
Did Lucha say that telepathically? Was I expecting a message?
No, you were not.
Okay.
Well, I've been yakking out loud about the whole let's contact Golan's mom, so it can't be completely unexpected.
Should I roll something to try to describe the symbol, since I'm assuming she can't see?
Oh, she's got to be able to scry you. Just let her scry you. If you let her know that we may be getting sucked into an assassination plot, that'll probably pique her interest. Oh, Dix, I think I had that album.
I actually
Down from the gallows and I don't got very long.
How do you know that song? That can't have been playing while you were in high school.
Truth is out, they finally found me.
No, it's the jig is up, the news is out, they finally found me. The renegade who had it made, retrieved for a bounty. See, I don't sing.
That's that sounds like somebody else who owned the album.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was a huge Styx fan. Yeah, I went to see Pieces of Eight, the Pieces of Eight concert, and the Renegade concert. I had one summer where I got very lucky where my grandmother worked. They had a guy that worked there who also worked at the Coliseum in Vancouver. And all the rock concerts that came in, I mean, he was an older gentleman. He had no interest. You know, it'd be like us trying to want to go see, I don't know, Three Doors Down or Disturbed or something like that. You know, he just had no interest in seeing any of that stuff. So he always gave my grandmother the tickets to give to me. So I had a summer where I got to see every rock concert that came into Vancouver.
Ask her what it is
Cool.
then.
Yeah,
It's nothing.
this is quite curious.
I don't like that's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna roll perception.
She paused. Yeah, my wife calls that
It wasn't a
angsty white teenager music.
dissimulating. She wasn't dissimulating. She was frustrated.
Okay.
Okay, she's being impatient
Yes.
rather than dissembling. I don't know that all of this has
I
to be
am
typed
now
out.
arguing with my mother.
Just spill your guts about everything that's happened since we met the lieutenant, please, and solicit her opinion on the entire mess.
Yeah, I'm just glad that your mother and not me this time.
You assume that it's only been with you. Yeah, okay, so...
I know that she's not worthy prey for you.
I didn't say they weren't. Well, it's my perception on that's something. As far as I can tell, she's telling the truth. I didn't say they weren't one-sided arguments. I just said that they happen. Of course, you understand we've had a fair few arguments that I've felt were fairly one-sided as well.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're wrong.
It's because arguing with you is like talking to a brick wall.
It's because I'm right.
No, it's not.
Could you both just please skip to the did not did to part of this conversation?
Look, it's duck season.
Did not infinity +1.
So one of my dogs has been running around my chair here bugging me. And so I picked him up, and he's looking at my computer screen and stuff, and I put the headphones on him, and he could hear you guys all talking. He starts looking around my room where these other people are. He's just like totally baffled.
Huh.
Where'd you hide them? You're better at this than I thought.
Yeah, I put him down. He's still looking around.
What's the mechanist's name?
The mechanic.
Mechanic.
Allergan. Not Allergan.
Allervane.
Allervan.
Allervane.
Allervane.
Wait, is it mechanist or mechanic?
Mechanic.
The mechanic.
Okay, I don't know why I threw it in there.
I think you're going to have to say an assassination project and waggle your eyebrows.
I forgot that it says Golan. It says your name, so
Yeah.
it should just be Golan's size and remove the bridge of his nose as he says this.
No, I'm afraid it's permanent now. We are now calling you. We are now calling you Golan, just like Jar Jar.
They said, "What do you want to name your baby?" And my parents
might
said
wanna
Golan.
point out
And then I
to
said,
her-
"What do you want their middle name to be?" And my parents said Golan.
You might want to point out to her that you are my child. So therefore, I am the only one nature has put above you.
Nature hasn't put anything above me other than the sky.
And Dad.
Nope. What is a folderol?
Folderol?
Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Trivial or nonsensical fuss.
Dog and pony show.
While it would be kind of fun to paint the silhouette of a prince on our canoe, I would like to do so intentionally. Has anyone else noticed how trite and pedestrian and unromantic all the elven names sound backwards? New Log, Laudneal, Assalanid. It's a good thing they spell these things frontwards.
I suppose I don't spend a lot of time looking at people's names backwards.
Lucha is the only one. Translates to cool.
That was by design. That was by design. Uh-huh.
fun to scold people by proxy.
So, if I correctly perceive where all of this is going, I have to wonder what kind of Nimrod knucklebrain lieutenant recruits stranger, irregular elven guard in the critical path of an assassination attempt.
Well, we're ostensibly not connected to any of the elven political structure.
And
So
he
we
just
wouldn't
assumed we
know.
would never
We're
look into any of
disposable.
this. Yeah, well, I get the
Yeah.
disposable part, but he had to plan that we would catch no clues through 5 days of delivering
Well,
these
we
packages.
still really don't know anything for sure. She could just be yanking our chain. This lady we were just talking to.
None of us rolled perception on her.
So it's a secret society. That's rarely a good thing. Except for the most secret societies, which are good things. Never do anything bad, so you never hear about them.
Secret society, jumbo shrimp, unbiased opinion.
An opinion is a bias, damn it.
Oxymorons all. I think it's time to spill your guts that this particular noble is involved in an assassination attempt. Along with Istre, the artificer, Alarvain, the mechanic.
Well, I still haven't decided whose side I'm on.
You're on your mom's side. Everybody is, unless they're shit.
He's on my side.
I do tend to think that having a device for an assassination attempt go off in a crowded place is probably bad. That is fair. It's a fairly good reason to do something about it, but we still don't really know what's going on.
Jenny, so
Right,
you
yeah.
don't have alignment in your world, which begs the question, what would a paladin have to do to lose his paladinship?
I would have to
break the
waterproof
rules.
something, cross a bridge. I would have to waterproof something or cross a bridge. I haven't waterproofed anything, and I haven't crossed any bridges. Yeah, if this is gonna involve, they love to make up all sorts of nicknames and cloak and daggers, so it's probably a code symbol for some noble.
I'm going to order some flex.
You're going to order a flux capacitor?
No, flex seal. You know. Because that'll waterproof something.
Wellseener, yet another elven name that is pedestrian and drab backwards.
That was your mother's brother, not one of mine.
Oh no, I know all the stories about Uncle Axel.
There was an actual Farathodon.
That's why I referenced him, yeah. And I know the story about him losing his cloak of invisibility, wishing for it back and getting stuck in a time loop.
Oh, it was Ring of Invisibility.
Oh, ring?
Yeah.
It was a cloak when you told the story to me.
I think you're misremembering.
Brick wall, meet fist.
She asked her about if she knows the initiative of one of the princes to expand the powers of the guards and claim more lands and find out which side she's on.
Yeah. Which prince did the mechanic ask if we were one of the toadies of? Jakruda. So Jakruda's the one that ostensibly wants to expand the guard, then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Read it backwards.
I did. Pedestrian and bland.
Yep.
It's odd the sound that triggers my talking. Reaching in and grabbing a chip does it, but eating the chip apparently doesn't.
So we're either on, something very stupid and mundane, or we've stumbled on a plot that is bigger than, even Golan's mom knows about.
Or,
Right.
considering the way elves are in this universe, both. At the same
True.
time, something simultaneously earth-shattering and stupid.
There's probably an assassination attempt every hunt.
Well, after the last 4 years, I've seen a lot of things that was both earth-shattering and stupid.
Tell her about the whole assassination aspect.
Well, we're reading that into it. I only want to give her information we
You
actually
have basically reached the conclusion that she's in full dish mode now.
Again, what every young man wants to hear, that his mother is in full dish mode. Yeah, so in character, this is all a silent conversation between Golan and his mom, and
Yeah, this is all a
Yeah, you're
telepathic
just-
conversation.
You're
between
just
me and
watching
my
his
mom.
expression go through various changes.
that's the expression he always has when he talks to his mom telepathically.
Trying not to roll his eyes periodically.
Yep.
That,
But I'm increasingly of the opinion that we ought to be abandoning this quest, or maybe going to the lieutenant superior or something.
You notice that, come to think of it, the trying not to roll my eyes expression is also an expression I have a lot when Elendal is talking.
Because he's going, thank God. At
I'm
least
not
it's
him.
not like my mom.
He's just sitting there thinking, how did they ever manage to have sex? How did that happen?
Amazingly enough,
It was a tequila night.
that was
See,
the simple part.
It's something that every
See them
child tries
interact with
not
each
to
other,
think
you
about
would
too hard.
wonder how they got in the same room.
People have asked.
I'm telling you, it's because it was one of those that tequila nights.
I'll be right back.
I can be charming if I want.
The only problem is, never in your life have you ever wanted to.
Yes, that's it.
Okay. I mean, I can identify with that.
I can only confirm that if it is true that he can be charming when he wants, he has never wanted to.
I keep telling people I can be a nice guy.
So, if we don't feel we've got enough knowledge from her, we can also try and tap the guild for information. But again, if we do that, we don't know what their motivations are.
They're gonna blow up everything I had prepped again. I can feel it coming on.
This is what you guys see when I think that is what I just said. Yes.
Mm.
You just see my jaw clench. Is LARP a term in this universe?
LARP? Live action role
LARP.
playing?
Yeah. Okay, is LARP colloquially as something someone does to pretend they're a kind of person that they're not, in a non-role playing sense, a term to you? Because in internet lingo, LARP has taken on the meaning of person who puts on airs, or putting on airs, essentially.
Oh. Yeah, as far as I know, LARPing just is an acronym for live action role playing.
Like Ellen Bell pretending he's intelligent.
It's exactly, but that actually would be the internet lingo meaning of LARPing, is pretending, using really fancy words to pretend that you're intelligent online would be a form of LARPing in this sense, because you essentially are live action role playing as a different kind of person.
Well, that would not be me. I do not use ostentatious like I am more intelligent. Goldwyn always talking about how he loves his parents. His entire spring banquet speech at the end of rowing as a senior, he just went up and he said,
I didn't mention either of you once.
He said, I love my dad, and that was it.
I spoke maybe one paragraph, and neither of you came up.
The way I remember it, he walked up to the microphone and he said, I love my dad. I really, really love my dad. And then he just walked off. To applause, because they all knew me. And they understood why he would do that. At least that's my recollection.
Is that when he got the paternity test back and found out you weren't really his dad?
I've been trying to get that because somebody owes me money. That's all I'm saying.
Funny, we were talking about that earlier, the way Florida laws are. They had a guy who slept with this woman once. I mean, years and years ago. And unbeknownst to him, she said he was the father of her child to be born. And the Florida...
I'm back.
In my notes.
The Florida child support turned around and said, okay, he's the dad.
Even though it...
Well, like 8 years later, he finally gets a notification because his wages started getting garnished. So he demands a paternity test. Right? Till this point, nothing had been said to him about any of this. He demands a paternity test, finds out he's not the father. You think, okay, everything's hunky-dory. No, they said because he didn't respond back when she first made the claim, even though he was never notified, that he is considered the father and he has to pay child support for a child that's not his.
That's wrong. That's wrong.
He's fighting it in court right now. Because at the very least, it should have started at the time that he was notified so he could challenge it.
You have to at least notify them.
Well, and time should not matter in that, because,
Well, no, if he was told, when the child was born that he's the father and he didn't contest it, and then he decides to contest it 8 years later, right? That's, at that point in time, he's made a commitment. And I get that. Now, whether he should have to pay child support from that point forward, not necessarily.
Right, he should not have.
He can't go after everything that he's paid up until then. And that's basically what he was saying is that, or what Florida was saying is that he still owed all that back child support.
No, he's a victim of fraud. She owes
Yeah.
him that money back, is
Yeah,
what I would say.
Well, it's turning into a
Well,
huge,
the
huge
state does.
battle.
So I've updated you guys on the results of our conversation.
Okay.
Other than my and Denalessa's argument about what qualifies as substantive politics.
Yeah, I agree with Harold.
I also
Trying to
gave you
move
the
on.
very vital information that Minothril wouldn't want to lead a great host because he would get dusty.
He has great mages with him. They can keep dust away from him.
Also, he has good taste. This is very important. This will be relevant. You'll see.
I just think it's a clue as to who your mom wants to shack up with.
Maybe. I don't know. We don't know how malleable Elvish reproductive systems are. Maybe she wants to shack me up with him.
That would be a coup.
It
For
would
the
be a
family.
social coup.
Elves have all sorts of magic. You don't know what they're planning. They do cockamamie shit.
Also, a good way to get your son character assassinated.
Block.
Oh, it would be a social coup against the family, not for the family. That makes sense.
No, it
That
would make
explains why they
you
were the same.
unreasonably prominent, and since you don't have a great many political allies to watch your back and squash rumors about you, the court would very soon tear your reputation to shreds.
I have a very charming bard. His name is Harold. We're ostensibly friends. He doesn't roll well, but he has like a plus 23 to his social skills and magic. We could figure something out.
He can do his sexy turtle dance.
Yeah.
Exactly. Never. This is very important. Never underestimate the craftiness of a Ferathidan.
Well, with a little quote, good luck.
Other than
wink.
Elendil. You can underestimate Elendil all you want, but the rest of the Ferothidans,
At your
also other
peril.
than Axel, other than Elendil and Axel, never underestimate the craftiness of a Ferathidan. That's not fair. I don't know how crafty Axel was. I only know the story of how he died.
So
Well-
are you guys flying on to Black now?
Yep.
Head to the Klingons.
Oh, I'm afraid.
I am physically incapable of feeling fear.
Well, go
you're
look at the
immune
turtle
to
one.
magically induced fear. That's not the same thing.
It just says I'm immune to fear effects.
Yeah, fear effects, not fear.
Yeah, such as being afraid. Look, Aura of Courage. The Paladin is immune to fear. I don't. What do you want from me? I'm immune to. I cannot be afraid. I would be scared by that. But again, I cannot feel fear.
I don't know, but there's your sexy turtle dance for you.
It's interesting. Is this someone famous's face, or is this just a human face? In the turtle's mouth, I guess.
No.
I'd say it's nothing to be afraid of.
I'm mesmerized.
It is kind of mesmerizing. It just sort of keeps happening.
I thought something was going to come out there.
Did you
I
like
would-
just? Did you just
I would-
like shit yourself?
It was sounded like it, didn't it?
You have a Bluetooth headset, and did you go to a room in your house?
No, I just stretched.
You're getting some old man stretchy there.
I've always had that. I also sound like an old person when I get up sometimes.
You know you're
Snap,
finally
crackle, po-
officially an old person when it's not just a noise, it's more like a whole sentence.
Yeah, when snap crackle pop is what you get before you can even eat snap crackle pop.
My mother and I had a long argument. That's accurate. Of course, arguments with Dad are like two brick walls talking to each other. Arguments with Mom are mostly... I argue much the same way that I do with Dad, and then she gets mad at me. Because a normal person would kind of get mad. I picked up certain argumentative habits from... I blame the old man. That are
So
not
you use
particularly respectful.
logic and sense.
It's more how I present the logic and sense. Sometimes I do think she's
In
not
a
getting mad
matter
for a
of
good
fact
reason.
way.
One could say bluntly. One could say I present it in a blunt manner.
There's no need to sugarcoat it if it's true.
I mean, obviously, I also feel that way. That's the way that I do it. Most people respond negatively to being told that they've just said something stupid.
Well, it's because most people are stupid. Oh, great. He wants you guys to put on some piss.
It puts the lotion on its skin. Oh shoot, what was the forester's name?
You meant?
Oh, you meant as the forester. No, the flautist. I'm sorry.
Leto.
Leto. Flautist, Leto. Oh, here's the most. If the elves so meticulously keep the elf wood, couldn't they have nurtured wildlife that you don't need to wear piss to avoid
Where's the fun in that?
off-putting? Well, you get to not have pee on yourself, which I find very fun. I have all sorts of fun every day not having pee anywhere on my body.
It is kind of an art form.
It is, and I think I've perfected it.
Well, you used to pee on yourself all the time.
I did, but I haven't been 15 for 7 years now. You'll get your quills when I get my skin. What? Oh, my roommates are gonna be mad at you. You brought the song Renegade back into my mind. They had to survive the Great Renegade Wars of 2018, my sophomore year of college, 2019. 2018 or 2019. One of those, depending on which semester it was.
Well, there you go. Listens. That's your job.
Sorry, I'm catching up.
Love is putting into my running, and I'm so far from my home. Oh, Mama, I can hear you crying, so scared and all alone.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
that's enough of that. You're gonna get my stream blacklisted.
Yeah, I only wanted to get the first part, but I couldn't get to the turn it off in time.
I assume I'm still in gargantuan eagle form, since I've never said I changed. So this is human speech coming from a gargantuan eagle. Like he just now noticed the gargantuan eagle.
I mean, we told him the eagle was a druid.
He's
Or he somehow thought
preoccupied.
it was a natural gargantuan eagle.
Oh yes, one of Elfwood's famous gargantuan eagles.
You never know around here.
I'm guessing that gargantuan eagles that talk are actually more common than gargantuan eagles that don't.
You could very well have a point, sir.
You also get the idea that he's a little preoccupied and didn't really look at you at all at first. He just wanted you to be quiet.
I'm going to have to take a break in about 45 minutes for a half hour.
Well, 45 minutes will be pretty close to the time
Yeah.
we usually finish anyway,
Okay.
so.
Very good.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would actually work out perfectly for me too. So
Excuse me, picking my nose. I would never do that.
and where do
So-
we find razor beasts?
Razor beasts die naturally all the time, like every other kind of beast. There may be a corpse just sitting there waiting. We might not have to go exerting ourselves.
You kind of suspect that a nasty worm-eaten corpse is not what he's looking for.
Okay. So we need to kill a razor beast, is what I'm hearing.
Or at very least find a razor beast.
Do they survival check? Do razor beasts shed like snakes or crabs?
Go ahead and roll.
Okay. That 2 was supposed to be the or absent.
United made retreat for
No more singing. Our singing is verboten. Alles in Ordnung.
Tell them no more rhyming, and you.
So, everybody pile into the canoe. I'll lift off, and we will scout for a herd of razor beasts.
Why are we scouting?
Well, we've got to find them, don't we?
Oh, I already know what they look like because we saw some when we flew the first time.
All right,
Okay.
I have a solution.
So,
Harold.
so do I.
Sexy razor beast dance.
Boom. Mic drop right there.
I'm
Actually,
gonna say that you can fascinate them as much as you want. They ain't gonna stand still for you to skin them.
But as
think,
far as locating them goes, I can use the locate spell.
there you go. So that solves the locate. And then, do we have sufficient missile weapons and spells to kill one from the air?
Can't you do some kind of druidy thing to call?
Yeah,
From
but
the-
that's going to work right up until we attack one, which we're going to do, right? So
but it gets it here.
Oh, no, because my summon animal only works on natural animals, and these things are magical animals. Correct?
I was thinking I was just going to try and put one to sleep.
Yeah, that would work. So can I summon one with Numaya's Chalice?
Let me double check.
Numaya's Chalice allows, I think once a... Was it Numaya's Chalice? Maybe it was something else. I have something that allows
Ring
me
of
to...
Animal Control?
Yeah, that was it. Ring of Animal Control. 3 times per rest, the wearer may activate the ring with a command word to call an animal of a specific type to their location if there's one present within 1 mile. But that's animal.
Yeah, that's not that will not work on this type of critter.
Okay, so I can't summon one. If we pass some on the way here, then I assume I have the scent, and we know what they look like. So it shouldn't be too terribly difficult to track down a herd of these things.
Do they go in herds?
Razor beasts? Yes. Ginormous herds, thousands of animals high. I have no idea.
It's hard not to see them.
They herd in a stack. They're just a big tower.
One on top of the other. It's why there's not very many of them.
It's razor beasts all the way down.
They're continuously falling over. And they like to hang out near cliffs. No one knows why. I assume we can find razor beasts fairly easily, especially since we passed them on the way here.
Yeah, if Lucha wants to cast locate, you can probably get direction toward one pretty easily.
And then we can basically play, you know how they dart bears from helicopters up in Alaska? I'm thinking something similar with you guys in the canoe and me tracking them from above. Do I have any idea how far they can shoot their quills? Straight up, basically. We'd have an advantage because we'd be shooting down and they'd be shooting up. And you guys would have the cover of a canoe.
Well, yeah, but we want it to be alive if possible, apparently.
Again, which is why I want to put one to sleep.
Yeah.
Well, if you can sleep one from the canoe, then we're all well and good.
So let's go back because sleep is 1 point, but it's close. So I'd have to add range. So increase range from close, it goes to medium, and then long, right?
And how far is long range? Is that 100?
Jen?
She falls asleep.
I don't remember how long range is. It's like 400 feet plus something.
So I should be able to get away with medium from these quills.
But there's no reason not to go long if it's just another spell point.
Well, no, there is a reason, and that's what I'm trying to figure this out. So would medium keep us out of their quill range? Is I guess what I'm trying to figure out.
You think so?
Sorry, guys. It looks like my break is coming in about 5 minutes.
2.
Okay. Well, we can wrap up for the night then and do this next time. From what I understand, Lucha will not be here next week. In which case, I am fine if we just not play next week. I could use the prep time.
Sure.
Okay.
Can we get to the point where we have found a herd of razor beasts and Lucha is about to cast his spell?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason that I want to try and keep my spell point usage down to hit these guys, because what I'm thinking is that if I have the increased range seeking, that's 3 points, and then I'm going to put the remaining 5 points to increase the DC, which adds 10 DC to it, much less chance of them resisting.
Well, that's a reasonable thought.
Yeah. So it gives us plus 10 DC to me trying to put one of these to sleep.
Okay, you find this little path clearing in the woods, and you think you see one down there.
Okay. You guys all see what I put in chat in Discord?
Mm-hmm.
I'll be back. Oh, in Discord?
Yes, but if you're going to be gone for like 30 minutes, night.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We should. So what I put in Discord, Kim's P&P game.
Oh, in
Was
Discord.
that the right channel?
Yeah, I'm not looking at that. Hold on.
Unless you guys want to play Wednesday night, and I don't know what your schedules are like or anything else, some other night. But Kim said that she wanted some more prep time.
Yeah, so we'll take a week off.
2 weeks.
Yep, I'm fine with that.
How much prep time does it take for a razor beast to fail its roll?
It's the stuff I'm expecting you guys to do next that takes the prep time.
Yeah, I think she's anticipating that we won't spend all session on one razor beast roll.
I don't know. If we need to discuss lay 6 and everything else.
I don't know, because we may have to take them to Whoville so they can have roast beast.
Alrighty, my food is at the door. My father-in-law's waiting for dinner. I've got to punt.
Okay.
Good to play with you guys, Jenny. Thanks as always for running. It was fun.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Night,
Bye, guys.
everybody.
Night, everybody.
And damn it, I didn't get to use my new roll macro.